Good evening, Sunday evening. Happy tailgating to the Swac, baby, on a Sunday. Hey, look, at halftime, we will go and break down a little bit of what I call a week to be alive in the Swac. So check me out at halftime. But until now, we're going to sit there and see how you tailgate. This is how I tailgate. That's just a little bit of how I tailgated. So now it's time to get to the football game. This is Alabama State versus North Carolina Central. Both teams are expected to win, well, you can say the SWAC and the MEAC. So let's go see what is really going on.
And they will start their opening drive from their own 25-yard line. Well, Walker Harris, the lefty who we featured in the open, Jay, taking...
I'm sorry, we're having a little technical difficulties. Let's get the sound in. Here we go. Here go the sound.
They're the best quarterback on the roster. Well, now, sooner or later, the rubber has to hit the road. Walker Harris, it's your time to shine. You had good numbers when you started last year, but that was versus Mississippi Valley State. Right now, you're going against arguably one of the top-ranked teams in HBCU football.
Walker Harris, the redshirt junior out of Wake Forest, North Carolina. More than half of this Eagles roster coming out of Tar Heel State. And Luke Bracey in motion, the first play from scrimmage this season, and the handoff to Jamari Taylor, brought down by a swarm of black jerseys, about 3 yards on that game.
And each team wants to control the line of scrimmage, except for Alabama State. They expect to dominate the line of scrimmage. Running against them is very tough. They've got a lot of big bodies, particularly at that nose tackle position. Those guys are tough to run against, so you have to figure out a way to get them moving sideways. It's going to be very tough to run directly downhill against this defensive line.
Here we go on 2nd and 7. Harris quickly out to Darrell Taylor, and Taylor, who's upended, flips in the air and a couple of yards short of that first down marker.
And Taylor has elite speed, one of the fastest guys on this Eagle roster. And take a look here. Great athleticism, make the first guy miss. Goes airborne. Exciting little bubble screen there.
Walker Harris making his first completion of the season. Remember, he was excellent in that game last year, the lone start he had against Mississippi Valley State. Now here on 3rd and 2. Line the game, the 35-yard line of the Eagles.
I think everybody in the SWAC is set on the 4-2-5 defense.
Harris finds an open man, and that's Joaquin Davis. Davis, who is the sure-handed returner, coming back as the best receiver, brought down by James Burgess, but a first down to keep the chains moving after that gain of 17.
Just crossing routes. Watch the two jerseys going to come run across each other. Puts number 6 in no man's land. You go with one, the other guy's going to be there. I like the play call by the offensive coordinator, Matt Leone. Simple throw on the 3rd and short yardage situation.
The Durham native, Joaquin Davis, one of those key returners for Matt Leone's offense, and they're going to look to him to make critical plays and sure-handed plays like that. Jamari Taylor on that left side, and Taylor, who is brought down by DeMarcus Cunningham, a gain of 6.
Taylor is a guy that they talk about his vision, and he did a good job making one cut, finding daylight to the outside. And we're starting to see North Carolina Central kind of, I'm not going to say dominate, but control the line of scrimmage.
Well, when we talked to Trey Oliver and the coaching staff this week, he mentioned that they wanted the O-line to be the strength of this team, felt like it was going to be. They brought 20 O-linemen into camp this season, so very serious about shoring things up front. Taylor once more, the vision, the patience, and the first down. So keeping the chains moving on this drive. Jamari Taylor, a guy who played alongside Latrell Mookie Collier last year, and now he's going to be one of the featured guys.
Yeah, I really like this player. Take a look at number 84, Morgan. That's how you seal the block. At the tight end position, you come across the formation, seal the edge, and the rest is up to the running back with the vision.
Well, Kyle Morgan, who's back from injury, tore a labrum in his hip last season, so they're happy to have him back as a good blocking back, springing Taylor on that last play. 1st and 10 from the Alabama State 36-yard line. Harris quickly out to Markel Quick, and Quick was quickly brought down. And nice defense there as Dwight Jacobs in his first game as a Hornet. And Dwight Jacobs Jr., the transfer in from Mizzou State.
When you talked about Jacobs, they were saying he has a lot of experience. He started a number of games at Missouri State. Good to see him get involved early if you're a fan of the Hornets.
So a loss of 2 on that last play. 2nd and 12 now. As
you got to attack the middle of the field right now. You see these two safeties that are too wide. When they're that wide, middle field open, you got trips formation, advantage offense. Have somebody attack the seam, middle of the defense.
Well, right up the middle, just as you said, and there's Luke Bracey, and Bracey hauls it in.
Goodness gracious.
A nice recognition by Walker Harris. Safety's going to not disguise the coverage and make it that wide open. You know somebody's going to get to the middle field. Have the patience to do what you want and hit the tight end running down the seam. That's like stealing candy from a baby.
You act like you played the quarterback position before, Jay. You saw that wonderfully, and it came just as you said, now in the red zone after that pickup of 23.
23 yards.
A little trickeration over to Darrell Taylor. You talked about his speed, trying to get to the outside.
Now that's how you put your hands around somebody and tap, not that
Burgess.
alligator arm stuff. Salute and congrats, young brother.
And they tried to blow up this play here, and they were fortunate that this play was not blown up in the backfield because they had an opportunity there with a missed tackle. But a guy like Taylor, first guy's normally not going to bring him down. It's going to take 2 or 3 guys there. Fortunately for Alabama State,
that first guy with that alligator arm tackle crap.
The swarm defense, as they like to be referred to, the Black Swarm. 2nd and 7. Eagles marching down the field on their opening drive of 2024. Jamari Taylor, nice sidestep and cuts. And James Burgess, once again, one of the tacklers in on the play, the preseason first team selection from his cornerback position.
Very impressed by the speed of this defense from Alabama State. They've missed some tackles and the alignment's been off, but when that ball is snapped, you talk about a defense that flies to the football. And that's going to happen when your head coach is one of the greatest players in school history and played the NFL as a linebacker. You know the defense is going to be sharp.
Here, 3rd and 8 for North Carolina Central. 10th play coming up right here. They can pick up another first down, and they're able to do so. Markel Quick just held short of the end zone. James Burgess once again, but a gain of 12 at 1st and goal from the 1-yard line.
Crossing routes. We saw this on the 3rd and short early. Watch the 2 jerseys come across each other. Somebody's going to open up, and once again, we see DeMarcus Cunningham, number 6, in no man's land. That's the inside linebacker. Is he going to his left or to his right? The key with those crossing routes is having the protection from the offensive line to allow the play to develop, and then the quarterback can make an easy throw.
So Taylor remains in the backfield with Walker Harris, and they hand it off to Taylor, and Taylor pushes across the goal line, and it's touchdown, North Carolina Central.
Running and passing. Uh-oh. Will another
An impressive opening drive for Trey Oliver's crew with new quarterback Walker Harris, and he looked like he had full command of that offense on that opening drive.
That's all you ask for. Offense finally gets a chance to get on the field and you score points. They weren't willing to settle for a field goal. They converted on a couple crucial third down situations. They made that look pretty easy. Good job by the Eagles offense starting off this 2024 campaign.
Juan Velarde, the senior out of Anderson, South Carolina, taking over all kicking duties, and he's able to punch it through.
Well, what do you do when the offense has got it clicking on all cylinders? You get down here and great teams find a way to punch the ball to the end zone. They don't settle for field goals. Right now, the Eagles are soaring down here in Miami.
Well, it's 7-0, first drive, first possession. And look, baby, I told you, I was tailgating. We got a whole tray full of ribs up in here. We got other kind of meats up in here. You think it ain't good, it's great. So, hey, if you ever down my way, come on down, get you some little food to tailgate and eat with. And also, at halftime, we have an offensive problem in the Swac. No, I'm just joking. But being real, we have 4 teams that did not score a touchdown. Not one touchdown the opening week. So that has to get corrected. So we shall see. Now, also, is Texas Southern defense the real deal? Whew. Look at the, wait till I give you the stats on the rushing yards they allowed Prairie View to have. Grambling, Southern, especially Southern, you let me down. Big time. Especially Southern. Well, but it's only week 1. How will your team make adjustments? How will your team come back? Especially if you Arkansas or you Alabama A&M. Alcorn, also in that category. And Prairie View, how can you bounce back? All 4 schools that I just named didn't score a touchdown. Field goals for 3 of them, 0 for UAPB. So what can you do to improve your offense and your rushing defense? My goodness. The Swac, you cannot get like this, man. Giving up 200 yards, 300 yards, and more. But I tell you what, it's only week 1, and there's a lot of room for improvement. So we definitely got to get ourselves back together. Now, these commercials should not take this long, but they are taking long. But let me know what you think your school or your college, university can do to fix their problems on offense of scoring and defense stopping the run. And was the SWAC committee jumped too early to name Miles Crawley player SWAC AP, whatever you want to call it, player of the year, preseason favorite of the year? Has Jackson State quarterback stepped up on his own? Also, has FAMU's quarterback was throwing over 280 yards every touchdown? We shall see. Here we go.
Ready to step into those shoes and take the Eagles even higher this season. Robert McMinn and Eric Horn back to receive for the Hornets. And this one is going to be out of bounds. A flag will come out.
Look at that, special teams in the SWAC again.
And that's what you don't do.
Yeah.
Offense comes out, does a good job. The kicker kicks the ball out of bounds. Now you're going to give this Alabama State team, you got them up against the ropes a little bit with the early lead. You don't give them anything. Don't give them great field position. Ball's coming out the 35-yard line. I mean, that's 15 yards.
Ball placed on the 35-yard line.
Especially when you have all of the buzz around Andrew Body, who made his way into this Alabama State program, started his career at Texas Southern, and they are hopeful that Andrew Body can help lead the way. But there was a great QB
You see what
battle
Texas
that he
Southern
had
did last night
during
without
the
Andrew
summer
Body. Lottie Dottie throw
in
interceptions
camp
everybody.
with Jonah O'Brien. So Andrew Body will be the guy to initially start this game, but we expect to see two quarterbacks. Actually,
look at this.
It's Jonah O'Brien in there. He flanks out to the wide receiver position. That's the other quarterback that Body was in competition with here on first down. They hand it off to A.J. Gates Jr. going counter to everybody on that left side. And a gain of about 8 on that opening play for the Hornets. Cole Jones with the tackle.
Now, this is still different because both quarterbacks are still on the field right now, O'Brien and Body. Body is a great enough athlete. You can put him at wide receiver, and he could do some things. He's the running quarterback. He's wearing number 1. O'Brien's wearing number 4. So they're not in the backfield. Look at him right now in the backfield. Who's calling out the signals? So they're flanking him out again, giving him a lot of eye candy. I expect them to run the football again.
It's Andrew Body who calls his own number and is able to sneak his way through and pick up the first down. And I think when we talk about the two quarterback system, yeah, everybody was expecting that on North Carolina Central's side, but you don't know who to necessarily game plan for in these first two plays. Is it going to be Body or Jonah O'Brien, who came over from Eastern Illinois?
And didn't you have a feeling that they kind of liked O'Brien? Yeah. You know, the Body came in, has been in the Swac. Schools know him, was great. He was really the only offensive weapon at Texas Southern. And O'Brien came in there and competed with him and earned playing time.
And there, the play action pass, and Marcus Harris, the preseason second team running back, a gain of 6. But they liked him for things like that, just his consistency and poise.
And I would think, here's really what it is. O'Brien's more the pocket passer. Body's more the dual threat run guy. When you've got a defense that's really good, you almost want to have an offense that just kind of gets out of the way. Don't turn over the football. Allow the defense to control the line of scrimmage and field position. And you want somebody making good decisions. And I think that's probably why we may see mostly Jonah O'Brien in this game at quarterback.
Daquan Kinsey, the ball carrier, but Juju Williams with that tackle for a loss. Pushes it back 2 yards. And Juju Williams, who's been a hard worker since stepping on campus day one, coming in from Indiana State and trying to make some noise there along that off defensive line for North Carolina Central.
They were very excited about Williams, and that's college football today. You know, you got guys that are transfers. They look really good in practice. How they're going to do in games situation, and we saw Williams making the play right away.
Here on 3rd and medium, O'Brien looking down the field, and look, he's got some legs too. The deceptive speed there of Jonah O'Brien to avoid some pressure and pick up a first down. We talk so much about Body, but O'Brien says, well, I can scramble too a little bit.
If you could have ran down this one. I mean, you would have picked up more than that there, but good recognition by O'Brien. Great protection by the left side. Cameron Smith, the big left tackle, does a good job of keeping his defender off his quarterback.
Cross midfield into Eagles territory. And now Body back in that similar position as Jonah O'Brien. The double pass in there. Look, it's Andrew Body, the receiver, on that play, a pickup of 9.
Well, kind of told you he had the athleticism. That I could see them using him at wide receiver. And you see here just a little reverse pass, and this is frustrating. Get it right back to the quarterback, out in the flank, out in the flat. Easy throw, easy catch. Nice execution on a pretty difficult play by Alabama State.
Well, among the new coaches on the staff, Chris Barnett, the new offensive coordinator for Eddie Robinson Jr. And Barnett, who has had experience being an OC for defensive-minded coaches here, little trickeration already early on.
Yeah, man, what you slowing down for, homie?
Trying to pick up a yard, but Christian Smith saying, no, sir.
And I'm going to tell you what's going to happen. At some point, see if I know the game a little bit. You keep playing those two quarterbacks, that defense is going to get upset. And they're going to start treating them quarterbacks like quarterbacks. You line them up as a flanker, as a wide receiver. Okay, you want to line up at flanker, wide receiver? Let's play press coverage. Let's jam you. Let's hit you. Let's see if you really are a wide receiver. So I think it's cute right now. I wouldn't be surprised if the defensive coordinator, Courtney Cord, said, hey, when those guys get out of the backfield, get physical with them.
1 yard to pick up here, and it's Daquan Kinsey once again, and is able to boulder through that right side. And the senior out of Abbeville, Alabama, picks up the first down.
This is a great run here. The vision. Take a look at the vision here. You're going to see him look here and then bounce this way. That's the vision they talk about you have to have. Look at the patience. His hole's not there. One more cut. Get small. Pick up the yardage. Small little gain, but that play easily could have been stopped, and you could have been looking at fourth down. But it's a good job by Kinsey finding the hole.
So O'Brien, who stays on the field now, 1st and 10 from North Carolina Central's 32-yard line.
Before the delay game, timeout, Alabama State.
That referee
Be the first charge timeout of the half.
Preston Clipper, our referee for today, alerts us of the timeout for Alabama State, and we will step aside with them as well from South Florida.
Well, as you can see, this is pretty much the same as just about every other SWAC game, except Alabama State has put some trickery into it. They're using both quarterbacks. Not only that, both quarterbacks have thrown passes and both quarterbacks have ran the football. So I don't understand this whole two quarterback system, because you're taking a good risk of one of your quarterbacks getting hurt if he runs the ball or if he catches the ball. But hey, I'm not a coach. I'm not in a war room. Maybe this will work out for Alabama. But then again, who knows, man? Alabama State, excuse me. Also, we'll be going over scores again at halftime and find out if Texas Southern University defense is just that good, or if the 4 schools in the SWAC did not score a touchdown, if they are just that horrible, which I don't believe they're that horrible. But I do believe lining up, doing these plays, that the games that I watch, it's not going to work. I was at the game last night between Texas Southern and Prairie View. Everybody was thinking deja vu again, because they had Texas Southern had that lead and Prairie View was coming back. Never happened. That's a different defense from last year, but you have different players. So we definitely gonna find out who is real and who is not real. I told you the SWAC this year is more wide open than anybody think of. South Carolina survives again over miscues and poor play calling, especially from South Carolina. FAMU survives a win. South Carolina ain't been the damn same. South Carolina has not been the damn same since they beat Jackson State. So I think the SWAC this year, who can win? Basically, who can stop the damn run? All right, the game's back on. No, never mind. It's not back on. Still in commercials. Also, next week, I will be live streaming a whole bunch of games. Whatever games y'all want to see, let me know in the comments. All right, the game's back on now.
One of his regime, he said, hey, look, it was all about getting back to a winning season after 5 straight losing seasons in 2022. Successful and check. And then last year, you see the difference that he made on defense. One of the
my bad. I keep forgetting to turn that volume back on.
Coming up with the pick was Malcolm Reed.
Yeah, this is just a good job of attacking the football, not letting anybody get deeper than you, and a good job readjusting, playing the wide receiver as well as the football, and would have been a fantastic play, but Malcolm Reed not able to hold on.
First incompletion for either team right now. 9 plays on this drive, better than 5 minutes milked off the clock for Alabama State. Flag coming out.
Before the snap, play game, offense, number 4, 5-yard penalty.
There's a horrible referee.
A bit of a chess match going on between Chris Barnett, the offensive coordinator, and Courtney Core. Now, they know each other.
Yes.
Very well, the OC and the DC.
Yeah, they coached together at North Carolina Central A&T and against each other as well. And so they said earlier, hey, it's not going to be, Chris versus Courtney.
Yes, it is.
In this, but absolutely. That chess match for sure. So backed up 5 yards. It's 2nd and 15. And the handoff and not much room to run as Christian Smith tackling the ball carrier, A.J. Gates Jr.
Now, I want to see how Courtney Core, the defensive coordinator for Central, plays his 3rd and long. Previous couple plays, he was confusing them, giving them blitz looks, blitz packages, and they were bringing the blitz. Well, they got the penalty moving back. He went to soft zone coverage. Now, I think you keep continuing and giving that look to confuse them. Don't give them a vanilla look. They're coming out with a little 3-man defensive line, so saying everybody keep everything in front, come up and make the tackle.
The line, the gain, the 22-yard line. O'Brien
keep
steps back, kept it in front, and a nice hit delivered by Cole Jones. And Jones continued to push the ball carrier back. Cole Jones is always aggressive. They love him on the field in 3rd down situations and in all down situations.
And as a quarterback, you have to know 3-man rush. I'm not throwing the ball quickly. You want to give time for you guys to get downfield. He played just like Central wanted him to. Throw the ball in front of us, let us get a full head of steam, make a short tackle, and a big play for the defense.
Look at this. On 4th and 16, the Hornets keep the offense on the field, but a whistle on the field.
Good timeout by Trey Oliver.
North Carolina Central, their first charge.
And North Carolina Central spins their first timeout of the quarter, and we'll step aside here with a big 4th down upcoming. 1.5 minutes to go in the first quarter.
This will be a 30-second timeout. 30 seconds. 30 seconds.
Oh, 30-second timeout. All right.
U.S. Open continues through September 8th on ESPN.
The Denny's Orange Blossom Classic is a historic event with championship implications. The road to the chip starts here.
It's not just the game, it's the reunion, the HBCU reunion.
And don't forget the Battle of the Bands.
It's a week full of events, all centered around the HBCU community. The 2025 Denny's Orange Blossom Classic is back at Hard Rock Stadium in Miami Gardens, Florida. 2025 ticket sales announced soon.
Not gonna believe this, girl.
Mom! Dad! Dad, have you seen this?
I did it.
Wells Fargo helps thousands of students go to college.
He got in.
By funding $107 million in scholarships
That's
and
the longest 30-second commercial I've ever seen.
Don't worry. I'll be back.
When a bank does what it says,
I knew you could do it.
opportunity happens. Doing gets it done. Wells Fargo, the bank of doing.
Arby's is full of choices. Quick, you can get your favorite stuff 3 for $5. Incredible value for a limited time. Reach in and eat whatever you grab. Arby's, we have the meats.
We're surprising Twisted Tea superfans with a Twisted Tea drop. Twisted Tea tastes like real iced tea because it's made with real brewed tea and 5% alcohol to kick off your game day. Twisted Tea Hard Iced Tea. Keep it twisted.
What's Danny doing?
He saved so much bundling home and auto with the personal price plan that he got excited.
Bundle is live!
And bundled football with football.
Bundle, amigo! You got bundle! Bundle is live!
Them folks sit there live, see, 30-second commercial break. Shit. Been a damn minute and 30.
Bundle and save with the personal price plan. Field goal.
So do you kick it or pass it?
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Don't blame me.
Summer's over.
Get your home ready for fall. It's the Rooms to Go Labor Day sale. The perfect time to change things up with fresh new pieces, comfortable new packages, beautiful furniture for every space. So kick off the season in style. Shop online or in-store and save big with amazing sale prices that make anything possible. Make sure your home is ready for you. It's the Rooms to Go Labor Day sale.
We're going to take a
Hurry,
damn
time
3-minute
is
commercial
running
talking
out.
about 30 seconds.
Ooh, fun. Yikes. The leaky
It makes no sense for them folks to sit there and lie to you in your face like that. No 30-second commercial, 3 minutes damn late, and they still over there. Anyway, talk about Valley all you want to. Valley scored 21 points yesterday. We have teams that had scored 3 or none. So we will definitely find out. All right. After them 900 damn commercials, they back home.
Second, DJU, how does he rebound going into Doak Campbell Stadium for his first start in the Garnet and Gold? Speaking of the black and gold, in Alabama State gonna punt it away after the timeout. 4th and 16, and Harrison Tuck is on the field. Gonna try to pin the Eagles.
Oh, man.
Had close to an opportunity, but instead the touchback, and North Carolina Central will get the ball back at their own 25-yard line. Good time to take a look at Jay's HBCU power ranking.
There you go. They changed overnight. They did change overnight, but I'm going with Morgan State. Impressive victory over Hampton yesterday. That team's trending in the right direction. Alabama State, we're watching them. Some people would say that's a little too low. Well, that's because my 1 and 2 teams, to beat a man, you got to beat the man. FAMU they've not looked good, but they've not been beaten. Howard took a loss, but they're still the kings of the MEAC. I got Central number 3. On the bubble, very curious about South Carolina State. Chennis Berry, they had that football team that took Florida A&M to the wire yesterday, and just his first year, keep an eye on the Bulldogs.
Taking over for the legendary Buddy Pugh at South Carolina State.
Nice cut.
Jamar Taylor, who has been the feature back in this one so far for the Eagles. And Jamari Taylor, guy out of Charlotte, North Carolina. You talked about his vision, his quickness here. You see
defensive lineman,
good versatility.
You want to play football?
That cut to go sideways, and then make another cut. And at the end, Drake Johnson barely made the tackle to bring him down. He's spinning. He's got the vision, and more importantly, he's got the footwork it takes to keep his balance and pick up positive yards.
On their opening drive, 11 plays, 75 yards, nearly 7 minutes taken off the clock.
Those are my
to put up the only score of the game. Now Walker Harris, who was 5 of 5 on that opening drive. Another completion out to Jamari Taylor. We talked about his versatility, a good catching running back out of the backfield.
And the offensive line is really doing the job. And that's too much time. Walker Harris went through 3 levels of the throw. He went deep downfield, came to the intermediate, and then threw the swing route down. When your quarterback has that much time to make his reads, it's going to be a long day. So they've got to figure out a way to get to Walker Harris because he's way too comfortable in the pocket and will continue to pick apart this defense.
Well, that was some of the question mark along that offensive line because they lost some critical pieces in terms of protection. End of the first quarter, and Trey Oliver's crew has a 7-0 advantage here from the Denny's Orange Blossom Classic. The Eagles trying to soar high as they continue their second drive of the game when we return.
Get your grills out this summer with Pepsi, the official beverage of Grills Night Out.
Hey, that's great. But who are the chefs?
Rookie mistake?
Great googly moogly.
Maybe you just need a Snickers. Mom, Dad, the new school year is a chance to show off what I'm into. You know how I love dinos, how I talk about dinos all the time? Like at all 3 meals, in the car, through the bathroom door, blah, 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 dinos, dinos, dinos. Well, I've evolved, and it's all about sharks now. So for back to school, let's just focus on sharks and only sharks. And if it's not sharks, it's not for me.
Just what I've been looking for.
Relax. You booked a Verbo.
All right, here we go.
No. What's my next step?
Dad.
You break it, we take it.
We could take it.
Trade in any phone in any condition at Verizon for the new Google Pixel 9 with Gemini.
Give me a recipe with these ingredients.
Let's do that one.
Only on Verizon.
I was robbed. They tried to run me over with a getaway car. He almost killed me right over here. He was laughing as he fractured my skull.
Amanda's attacker was an illegal immigrant drug dealer arrested twice before, but released by San Francisco DA Kamala Harris.
If Kamala Harris hadn't let him out, this never would have happened to me.
Kamala put violent illegals, convicted felons back on the streets.
Kamala just doesn't care about protecting people like me.
Make America Great Again is responsible for the content of this advertising.
Some people just know they could save hundreds on car insurance by checking Allstate first. Like, to check the weather first before sailing.
It's gonna get nasty later.
Yep.
Hey, perfect day for sailing, huh? Have fun on land.
I'll go tell the Coast Guard. Yep.
Yeah, checking first is smart. So check Allstate first for a quote that could save you hundreds. You're in good hands with Allstate.
This is Modelo Kickoff Week. Well, let's tell you about Davius Richard, one of the all-time great players at North Carolina Central, has school record in terms of career touchdowns, top 2 in career passing yards. And Davius Richard, back-to-back MEAC Player of the Year, one of the most tremendous young men you will have ever met in terms of the leader that he was on the field and off the field from Belgrade, Florida. They call it the Muck down this way. But now Walker Harris takes over for a storied guy like Davius Richard. And they say you don't replace a guy like him, but there are many pieces that you can fit the puzzle to help out with filling that, as Jamari Taylor continuing his great running ways so far this afternoon. Jamari Taylor, a pickup of 21 yards.
It's the vision. The first hole's not there. It's not there. It's designed to go inside. Makes a move, gets outside leverage, turns on the jets. It's the vision. You have to imagine it playing out a certain way and then have the ability to change direction to go another way.
You don't necessarily stay in the past with Davius Richard, but you acknowledge the type of player that he is. For a guy like Walker Harris, who comes in and tries to submit his own legacy, how difficult is that?
Off to a good start, complete passes. And the number one job as a quarterback is to throw the football, and he's done a really good job of throwing the football.
Harris on the run, a wide open man is Joaquin Davis. Davis inside the 5-yard line of Alabama State, kept his eyes downfield the entire time, and the completion to Joaquin Davis.
I mean, crossing routes continue to get you, so you'll see him come across the formation right there. Davis, 88, going across it. That's an easy throw for a quarterback. Hang it out there, 6'4" wide receiver, runs untouched across the zone. That's easy. And it goes back once again to the time that the offensive line is giving Walker Harris.
2 tight end set as they shift to the right side, both Bracy and Morgan. The handoff to Taylor, the patience once more, and into the end zone. Jamari Taylor, that's his second touchdown of the game. Both scores for the Eagles. And Jamari Taylor right now putting in some work.
This is just a good job of getting small. You see that little jump cut, and then he got small, because that's how big the hole was. It was a very small, minute, minuscule size hole. And he was able to leap, get tiny, keep the legs going. The imagination and the creativity on display for Jamari Taylor.
The extra point is up, and it's good through the misty rain. Jamari Taylor, 8 carries, 54 yards, and this is his second score of the game. He's got his Eagles on top by 2 scores.
Denny's has awarded over $2 million in Hungry for Education scholarships. We can help your kid go further too. All you have to do is apply now.
I'm Oliver Gilbert, Chairman of the County Commission and the County Commissioner for District 1 right here in Miami-Dade County. And on behalf of our 2.7 million residents, welcome to Miami-Dade County and welcome to the Orange Blossom Class. As an HBCU grad, I know the pride that we feel as we watch our teams and our bands take the field. Join me as we watch North Carolina Central University do battle with Alabama State on the field with the side of Miami-Dade County's food, culture, music, and fun. Let's celebrate our pride at the 2024 Orange Blossom Class.
Being the best takes hard work. It takes early mornings, planning, precision, sweat, sacrifice, and teamwork. That's why Old Dominion Freight Line, the #1 national LTL carrier for quality, works hard to be the best in the game and is proud to support those striving to be the best in their game. Old Dominion Freight Line, helping the world keep promises.
Game time! Wing time!
That was fast.
Hey, even refills your Coke.
Some wings you just can't wait to tailgate with.
Excuse me. You left your head.
We don't make sense. We make chicken.
Chicken from Popeyes.
Welcome to the playoff push with late inning rallies,
Brings it with a walk-off shot.
signature moments,
Oh, my.
and the wild hunt for October.
Buckle up.
Braves, Phillies on Sunday Night Baseball.
Trains. Trains that use the power of Dell AI and Intel, clearing the way so you arrive exactly where you belong.
It's Orange Blossom Classic. Well, tonight on ABC and ESPN Plus, college football continues. Number 23 USC and 13th ranked LSU from Vegas. Coverage begins at 7:30 Eastern. Jay, just your early season predictions and what you saw yesterday in college football. Who looked good to you?
Woo, the parity is out there, but I think, I mean, Georgia's still that team. You still got to beat Georgia. Everybody's falling in love with Ohio State a little bit, as they should, but I think that's going to be the key is Georgia. I mean, I still think national championship goes through Georgia. And you talk about a team that's going to play with a chip on their shoulder. Let's not forget, I thought they were the best team in college football last year, and they didn't get invited to the playoff.
Yeah.
So, how about you, partner?
Oh, the college football playoff. I'm going to talk about that in a second. But, hey, on the return here, and solid start for Robert McMinn, one of those speedy guys, as we take a look at the college football rankings. Much of what we expected in a lot of areas. I will say that Michigan looked good, not great, in my opinion. Oregon did some nice things. I think Dylan Gabriel is one of those guys who is in contention for the Heisman this year. Notre Dame and Texas A&M, boy, the first half of that game was all defense. It was just all defense. Mike Elko was like, what's going on? Marcus Freeman was like, yeah, what's up?
I'm going to give you my Heisman dark horse after this play.
Okay. Oh, I'm going to give it to you. Oh, I know where you're going. As Max Urin was right there to bring the ball carrier down, and Jamari Holtzclaw on his first carry.
Okay. So who do you think I'm going?
Cam Ward.
Cam Ward.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yes,
wow,
sir.
You read my mind. And the folks around here in Miami, they're going to love it. He looked great yesterday.
Yes, he did.
I mean, the way he played, like the game was going in slow motion, and he was just having his way. Very impressive performance. And the other one, Travis Hunter.
Yes.
Travis Hunter, Colorado.
Okay, the question there is, Jay, can he sustain playing on both sides of the ball the entire way? You know, health, obviously a concern, but this is a long season.
Look out.
And that one intercepted into the hands of Cole Jones, and Cole Jones in for the pick six. This is a guy they
somebody that messed up the
with
Texas
great edge. But there is a penalty marker on the field near the 10 or 11-yard line.
That had to be during the return. North Carolina Central will maintain possession. Are they going to call this a blindside hit on a defenseless player? But it was a great job of buzzing under the out route by Cole Jones.
Strong safety is reading O'Brien the entire time. And the officiating crew, led by our head referee Preston Clipper, still talking it over.
He just can't get right.
Looking at it live, I mean, there was a wipeout block that was on there. And, you know, in college football, they're trying to get rid of those wipeout blocks where defenseless player, you don't see a guy coming.
Touchdown is good. After the play is over, on the kickoff, we'll force that foul on the kickoff.
So the touchdown stands. Let's get another look at it here.
Yeah, number 7 just buzzes right underneath, and you'll see it. Let's take a look what happens here. Oh, 16. They called 91, but taking out the quarterback. And that's kind of old school. And you see the penalty right there. Now, I don't know why they don't take the touchdown. I mean, that happened as their guy was running, hadn't crossed it to the goal line.
Well, Eddie Robinson Jr.'s crew down by 3 scores as Juan Velarde on to attempt the extra point. $21 unanswered points to open this ball game for North Carolina Central.
Tell you what, they got to figure out a way to get this thing going. Because right now, North Carolina Central is dominating on offense.
It's a bloodbath,
the defense
man.
is making some noise too.
It's a bloodbath, man. Oh,
The new 12-team college football playoff begins December 20th on ESPN.
Hey, all I can tell you, bro, NCCU is looking way better than advertised. Alabama State, you looking like school on Saturday. No class. Somebody better do something. Get rid of that 2-quarterback system, go with 1, and run the damn football. How about that? Run the damn football. This makes no sense for you to be down 20-0. Or it looks like you playing like you UAPB playing damn Arkansas. Man, y'all done messed up the folks' money. This is crazy to me. Crazy to me. You down 20-0 and you ain't got no answers. You been on side of their 50-yard line once. These folks scoring on offense and defense. So hey, what can we say? What can be done? This is unreal, man. This is crazy to sit here and watch this. Like I said, week 1 is rough, but this is rough for the Swac. All them 70s getting put up on the Swac. Nobody scoring touchdowns. You had one real damn game. That was the Prairie View versus TSU game, where defense actually controlled the game. These games lately, even with FAMU beating South Carolina State, that raggedy ass game. Something, hey man, something in the water ain't right. We gotta fix this, man. Gotta fix this. I cannot sit here and believe Alabama State. I done grill ribs and pulled pork. I done cook spaghetti chicken and everything. We tailgate. We doing it big. Y'all doing it small. Man, come on now. Don't let me down, man. Put some points on the board, at least. But if not, oh well. This is crazy, man. Somebody want to come up and say anything? Feel free. But this right here is just not happening. Come on, let your feelings be known. Let your feelings be heard. Hey, especially during commercial break. Come on up in here. Say what you got to say. This ain't a money game. This the Orange Blossom Classic, which I still say have that classic, but put this damn thing in each other's stadium. Them folks said, whoop that tree. Oh. The band.
Win this game a lot. Their fan base, they're like, oh, we're going to win the SWAC. We're going to do everything else. Central's not what they were. And the folks at Central, so interesting, the Central fans that I saw said, team in your compliment. But thus far, those Central folks have said, well, we don't care because we're MEAC. MEAC is playing MEAC football right now. And Alabama State got to find a way to get that speed and creativity into it, or this can continue to be a long day here in Miami.
Alabama State will have their opportunity here. It's A.J. Gates Jr. on the return, and Jr., who's popping to the outside. A.J. Gates Jr. with some speed across the 30, 20,
you needed that one. Touchdown, baby.
Absolutely. You got to pop out, show out.
No, baby. You got to pull over, hop out.
82 yards on the kickoff return for a touchdown for A.J. Gates Jr.
You got to pull up.
This is what we said. They have to find a way to get the speed into a football game. Alabama State, the SWAC is known for their speed.
That's how
they
you
took
say
advantage of the penalty. They knew they were going to have a kickoff return, and Gates did a fantastic job of making it happen. Look at him outrun everybody on that special team. He is just simply the fastest guy on the field, and it showed.
So just like that, Alabama State quickly answers thanks to A.J. Gates Jr., a guy who can make big plays, and Eddie Robinson Jr., no panic on his face. If you're just
You gotta
tuning in,
pull
folks,
up.
2 TDs scored in the
Hop
last
out.
13 seconds.
Show
Memphis
up.
Central and
Show
a
out.
quick clap back
Get it
there
right now.
from Alabama State.
And I'll tell you, this tie can turn so quick. A kickoff return is devastating, and it really does a lot in the momentum. So imagine this now. They've got the 7 points on the board. If the defense can get a 3 and out or a stop, then Alabama State's going to feel like they're right back in this game. Most crucial possession on defense coming up for Alabama.
Hey, Jay, we had talked about it. The Mighty Marching Hornets band, they're into it now. They were quiet early. Now they're in. Tap in.
It's college football season, y'all. We're back.
So let's see what Alabama State can do with this momentum as Gilliam puts his leg into this one. Returnable as Darrell Taylor, who's got great speed for North Carolina Central, dragged down around the 25-yard line. Jamari Taylor, who has been the story on offense thus far for the Eagles, scored both offensive touchdowns for NCCU. Last season, he had 71 carries and 1 touchdown. Today, folks, 8 times he's touched the rock out of the backfield and 2 scores.
The foul was on number 16,
Ryan Lewis,
number 91,
senior, the
number
defensive
16.
coordinator for Alabama State. Leave your comfort zone. Blitz him. Go after Walker Harris. If you come up with 2 big plays right now, your crowd will be into it. You can take back momentum in this game. I will get very aggressive in my defensive play selection.
You see top of your screen, they pick up the blitz, and they also were ready for the ball carrier. It's Arthur Rogers Jr., who's spelling Jamari Taylor for the time being a gain of 5.
And they dialed up the perfect play, but it was just better running by Rogers Jr. to take a negative play and get positive yardage. But I'm still going to say, I like what they did. They're getting their guys a little bit closer to the line of scrimmage. They're going to figure out a way to come after Walker Harris. How will Central handle it?
You've got a call on Quan Thomas, Stephon Young roll, whose defensive ends to help bring some of that pressure. Thomas, number 11 in black. He's one of those guys who's an excellent pass rusher. They've got to try to get to the quarterback. Instead, it's Harris who keeps it himself and ducks and tries to pick up the first down and is successful in doing so.
Good job there. Part of the thing that's so frustrating is all the shifts that North Carolina Central's doing. Matt Leone, the offensive coordinator, never giving them a steady look where they can sit there and dial up what blitz they want to do.
And it appears to be an injured North Carolina Central player on the field. Grabbing hold to his lower leg. When you think about the way that this offensive line has played and protected for Walker Harris and created space and holes for the running game, you don't want to see a player go down as everyone is walking back to their sideline, and we will step aside here as well.
This is the Denny's Mobile Relief Diner. It's more than just a kitchen on wheels. It's a helping hand and a warm meal when people need it most, wherever they need it most. Because at Denny's, we love to feed people. It's not just what we do, it's why we do.
I'm the Modelo Recruiter, and I'm looking for fans with good hands and great speed. The ones who stay focused and never miss a play. They go the distance on game day, even when their team is away. I'm always watching, always looking. to more and more full-time fans. Because football isn't really football without you.
Game time! Wing time!
That was fast.
I even refilled your Coke.
Some wings you just can't wait to tailgate with.
Excuse me. You left your head.
We don't make sense. We make chicken.
Chicken from Popeyes.
Whoa, it's the Capital One Bank guy. That's me. Could we get a selfie? Of course. Say no fees or minimums on your Capital One checking account. Ooh, that's a keeper.
So, what do you do outside of the Capital One Cafe?
What do you mean?
Like when you go home or...
Sleep tight. Don't let the overdraft fees bite. What's in your wallet?
What's my next step?
Trade in any phone in any condition for the new Google Pixel 9 with Gemini.
Give me a recipe with these ingredients.
Let's do that.
Only on Verizon.
People call it the biggest small town festival in Minnesota.
And we came up with the idea of creating a community s'mores table.
The Hershey Company got wind of this, sent 40,000 candy bars.
Made my day 100 times better. I love s'mores so much.
Arby's is full of choices. You can get your favorite stuff, 3 for $5.
Pretty good.
Incredible value. Reach in and eat whatever you grab. Arby's, we have the meats.
This is Aaron Rodgers time, baby. Touchdown 49ers.
The injured Eagle, Trey Richburg, being helped off the field. And the senior out of Matthews, North Carolina. Let's take another look at what happened on that last play.
Yeah, you can see Richburg here just kind of trailing the play a little bit. And this leg just gives out the ankle twists, and you don't like those non-contact injuries. We'll hope the best for him. The transfer from East Tennessee State.
So Walker Harris, that's his first incompletion of the game. Prior to that, 7 for 7, 93 yards. He's found a handful of different receivers. That brings up 2nd and 10.
Get it going. You lost the lineman. The place kind of had some electricity. If you're Alabama State, you thought you were getting momentum. North Carolina Central, you've been rolling a little bit. Now the place is getting a little flat. Take advantage of it. One of these teams needs to.
Hard Rock Stadium, where Miami Dolphins play down here in Miami Gardens. The handoff, it's Jamari Taylor again. We've talked about the great afternoon he's had thus far, bunched up. And it's going to bring up 3rd and 5.
I'm still surprised how easily they're able to run the ball, getting 4 or 5 yards a carry against a very stingy Alabama State defense. But when this drive started, I said this is the biggest drive of the game for Alabama State. They have to get off the field. They need to stop North Carolina Central from converting on 3rd down.
So far, they're perfect today, 2 for 2 on 3rd down conversions. Let's see what Matt Leone dials up for this offense.
Pressure. I don't care what type of shift they do. Bring your blitz and go with it. And have your guys tackle. You cannot allow Walker Harris to have time in the pocket. Here comes the pressure.
It's picked up. Harris has time, but short throw. You saw DeMarcus Cunningham in his face. And the hold there from Alabama State.
They needed it. And Ryan Lewis, the defensive coordinator, was a fantastic linebacker, Bethune-Cookman. So he trusts his linebackers to do the blitzing and did a good job of just throwing off the timing. You brought the pressure, you threw off the timing, and you finally forced the punt. Now we got a football game, Tiff.
Juan Velarde back to punt it away. Velarde gets his leg into that one. Great punt. And pinned down inside the 5. It's down at the 4-yard line.
Somebody go celebrate with your kicker. That was a great punt. He had to go find somebody to celebrate with an outstanding punt by Velarde.
56 yards. Tough starting field position for Alabama State. You know Trey Oliver, a former punter himself and an all-conference selection back in the day, loves that as well. Now Andrew Body coming back onto the field. Remember, we would see two quarterbacks as it was a QB battle all throughout camp leading up to the season opener. Jonah O'Brien threw a pick six the last time, and now Body back in the shotgun in his own end zone.
Expect to see more of the RPO type game. Run pass option, little zone read. They're going to use the legs of Body to make an impact in this game.
We got to get a playoff, and not able to do so. Delay of game.
All the Hornets. I told y'all, man.
On the offense,
Number one.
Half the distance to the goal.
Irresponsible.
Still first down.
But it's not the worst thing in the world. You're backed up on your 5 yards.
Yes, it's the worst thing in the world.
It costs you 2.5 yards. So you can overcome that. But mentally, you're like, look at that. I'm with Coach Roberts. He said, look on his face, like, man, what are we doing? That can't happen.
Body, who had better than 4,100 yards passing through the air in his time at Texas Southern, also picked up better than 1,000 on the ground, and just a quick run for 1 yard for Daquan Quincy. Daquan Quincy, who came over from Clark, Atlanta, a guy who they like, has the ability to run between the tackles. He's going to trot off the field momentarily.
When you watch North Carolina Central on defense, look at number 7 in the slot. You know, he's already got the interception, Cole Jones, right? But with Body's there, his responsibility. See him on the hash mark? He's not going to let Body get outside. See how close he's creeping to the line of scrimmage? Nothing gets outside of him.
And there, just the soft spot in coverage, and Body delivers the pass to Asa Gregg, and it's a first down.
And you can do that because Body draws your attention with his ability to run the football. So they flood that side of the field. And as you're spying in the backfield to think, is he going to run? They slip somebody into the soft spot in the zone. Nice play selection by Chris Barnett.
So a little breathing room now for Andrew Body in this Hornets offense. Under 9 minutes to go in this one. It was 21 unanswered points scored by North Carolina Central. But Alabama State answered back with a kickoff return for a touchdown and then a big stop there on North Carolina Central's last possession. Great run here by Marcus Harris, the second. And Harris close to that first down marker, as that was a willful run from the redshirt sophomore.
They're just taking advantage of some missed tackles. You had an opportunity to make a tackle there in the backfield and continue to keep the legs going. And the coaches just couldn't say enough about Marcus Harris.
Mm-hmm.
Great attitude, does everything the right way.
They say he was a great extension of the staff. The one deviation, though, a member of Alpha Phi Alpha Fraternity Incorporated, as Eddie Robinson Jr., a part of the Divine Nine, Omega Psi Phi, and many on his staff. But Marcus Harris, the second, just ice cold right now on this running.
I caught that ice cold.
Yeah, okay.
But another good job here. And this is, you have to be concerned because Central's missed the tackles to behind the line of scrimmage. I mean, this is supposed to be a tackle right here. What's your offensive line doing? But Marcus Harris is bailing you out with his legs, making some great second effort runs. But there's just no type of cohesiveness with that offensive line for Alabama State right now.
One of the guys who anchors it, Aurelius Dunn, the center, snaps it over to Body. Body on the run, and Andrew Body along that left side. Cole Jones is trying to take the angle of Andrew Body and is able to trip him up. But this one's going to be potentially coming back, as there's a penalty marker back at the 41-yard line.
Holding, offense, number 88. 10-yard penalty from the spot of the foul. Replay, second down.
That is so deflating, Jay. That was a 48-yard run by Andrew Body, but Arrington McCray, the guilty party on the hold, and it walks them back 10 extra yards.
Tight end, in man on the line of scrimmage, and that was a huge play negated by the hold. And tough break for Alabama State, bringing back a spectacular run from Andrew Body. And what I was thinking prior to, like, when the offensive line is not playing in sync, they're not together, but Andrew Body's that type of playground type guy. You can draw it up in the sand, and he can make you miss and make a big play, as we just saw, but unfortunately it came back.
And before a delay of game was called, Eddie Robinson Jr. calling for the timeout, the second spent of the half. Well, we've seen a couple of delay of games already for the Hornets, trying to avoid another. And where is the breakdown there, Jay, in terms of communication? Because they have new technology this year in terms of being able to communicate, getting the play in their helmets up to 15 seconds.
I'm going to say it's because you got two voices. You got two quarterbacks out there. So you need to have one voice on offense. They've been using two quarterbacks. They've been using Jonah O'Brien and Andrew Body. Who's the starter? Who's quarterback A? Who's quarterback B? So I think the fact of the matter is they got two voices out there. You don't know who it is. Who has a communication device, right? If they're both playing, only one of them can have it. So are they getting that in time? So, but it does not look smooth, and they've had these delayed games pretty consistently since the beginning of this game.
So the Hornets trot back onto the field. 2nd and 8 from their own 34-yard line. Body looks, keeps it the entire way, runs into a couple of tacklers rather, and then Malcolm Reed brings him down, but some more laundry out onto the field.
You wonder, is this one against Central, maybe hands to the face, but another individual effort by Body. I mean, he was tackled in the backfield for a loss. Maybe they picked up the flag.
No, Jay, we were deceived. I thought there was some laundry on the field. That's just an Alabama State towel that resembles a penalty marker. So first down for Alabama State. Again, avoiding the tacklers or would-be tacklers, and Andrew Body running for another first down. Quantez Banfield brings him down.
I like to play golf, right?
Okay.
And in golf, we like to say, we'd rather be lucky, we'd rather be good. Right? Good shot or lucky shot. I'll take the lucky shot. And this was luck right here. This was luck. Terrible job of blocking by the offensive line. Terrible on the selection, but great job by Andrew Body. They're lucky they have Andrew Body because he is bailing them out right now.
Well, Body, who takes a breather on the sideline, going down to his knee, and now Jonah O'Brien assumes the QB duties here on 1st and 10. Just across midfield and breaking away. Oh, my. A great run there by Jamari Holtzclaw. He arrived in January and adding to this backfield, a true freshman from Fort Lauderdale.
Yeah, they're blitzing the pocket. They're actually getting there with great selection, but they're doing a poor job of tackling. Jackie Brevard missed the running back. Look at all these jerseys that are around him.
Nowhere to go for Jonah O'Brien as he's brought down Christian Smith among the white jerseys, the sack and a loss of 8.
What is going on with this offensive line from Alabama State? There were 3 guys around the quarterback, 3 defensive linemen around the quarterback, and the offensive line for Alabama State is just watching the football game, watching their quarterback get hit. They've got to get it together up there. Find somebody, step up, be the leader of that group, and win your individual matchups.
4 minutes to go in this one. Andrew Body back in the ball game, up the middle, and Body has space and opportunity, and he's into the end zone. Andrew Body just bodied the defense of the Eagles. 38-yard run for the score, and the Hornets are within a touchdown.
Another individual effort. He found a crease, and then it just became the athleticism. Give credit to the offensive line on that play there. Jeremy Frazier, the left guard with the seal block that opened up daylight. We know Andrew Body's like ZZ Top, baby. He's got legs, and he knows how to use them.
What an impressive drive from Alabama State, going 96 yards, overcoming some penalties and some adversity on that drive, but Andrew Body was the reason that the Hornets got into the end zone, and they're within a touchdown. Another look at his TD run.
Yeah, I mean, and it was all Body on that drive there. He hurt them with his legs, and that's why defensive coordinators hate these dual threat quarterbacks that you can call the perfect defense for him, but if you can't bring him down and he can outrun you, it gives him fits. Great job by Andrew Body. We see what all the hype was about when the transfer from Texas Southern announced he was going to Alabama State. I think that's when they became Swac favorites.
First touchdown in a Hornets uniform for Andrew Body out of Corpus Christi, Texas. We mentioned his ability as a dual threat quarterback, and Andrew Body serving notice that in that QB competition, he says, this is what I bring that's a little different to the table that makes you want to keep me on the field. Darrell Taylor on the return, and Darrell Taylor, who absorbs the hit, stays on his feet, and now is brought down.
Starting to get physical. That Brandon Gilliam, number 37, the kicker. Watch him come down and try and lay some wood. Now, you can tell he doesn't know how to rap. But he got the hit to slow him down a little bit.
Hey, you gotta give love to Brandon Gilliam for getting in there, putting his nose in there and just getting in there. Back onto the field. North Carolina Central's offense. That starting field position for the Eagles. The handoff, and Jamari Taylor, who's tripped up and bumped down. Rico Dozier in on the stop. Stephon Young Roll, redshirt junior out of Miami, Florida, back-to-back recipient of the Marion 9 Perseverance Award. The honor of wearing the number 9, named after the 9 freed and enslaved men who founded what we now know as Alabama State. Into Joaquin Davis, and Davis was just sitting there waiting for it before he was leveled to the turf by Twilly Lovett. Stephon Young Roll, what a fantastic young man. Had the opportunity to talk with him, and I love Eddie Robinson Jr. and his intentionality in making sure that these players and this program is rooted in its history. And the Marion 9, who started the Lincoln Normal School with $500, formerly enslaved men, founded what we now know as Alabama State for Black Americans back in 1867.
That was interesting to learn that story. You know, we travel a lot, but when the football coach brings it out to you, you kind of pay attention to it. There's no doubt about it. Eddie Robinson Jr. bleeds Alabama State. I mean, he bleeds it. He, along with the president, Dr. Quentin Ross, they were classmates together. They're going to make sure people that come through the campus in Montgomery are going to know more than just the football experience. They're going to know about the history of the university. And it's not surprising at all, and that was interesting to learn that fact.
Clock operator.
Well, something new in college football this season, the 2-minute timeout. So we will step aside here from Miami Gardens.
You know, Coach Prime, it's nice to finally have some free time. Gives you a chance to reflect on the important things.
Like how Aflac pays people money for the expenses health insurance doesn't cover.
Health insurance does leave a gap.
But Aflac gives people money to help close that gap.
Oh, Coach Brown got one on the line too, baby.
See, that's how you hold up a trophy. Trust me.
Get help with expenses health insurance doesn't cover. Aflac is an official sponsor of ESPN College Game Day.
I hope y'all hungry.
I'm glad I brought my own dinner.
Blocked from watching the big match? Save the day by using the Bank of America customized cash rewards card and choose to earn 3% cash back on online purchases, like live streaming.
Team, it's been a grind, but I think I've aged you well. Some might say perfect. Who's ready to show 'em who's the cheesiest?
I woke up feeling the cheesiest, coach.
Cheez-It, official sponsor of the college football playoff.
Hey, Mr. Poacher.
Yeah?
Tired already? Here, have a Red Bull.
And then?
Then run faster.
Oh.
Red Bull gives you wings.
I was robbed. They tried to run me over with a getaway car. He almost killed me right over here. He was laughing as he fractured my skull.
Amanda's attacker was an illegal immigrant drug dealer arrested twice before, but released by San Francisco DA Kamala Harris.
If Kamala Harris hadn't let him out, this never would have happened to me.
Kamala put violent illegals, convicted felons, back on the streets.
Kamala just doesn't care about protecting people like me.
Make America Great Again Inc. is responsible for the content of this advertising.
The truth about DIY is you never really do it all by yourself.
Because this setup took 2 videos and a quick demo.
You can change your color here. And all of this started here, detoured here, and ended
down here.
And this pizza wasn't delivery. This was.
I wonder if they do have it.
We do. So whenever you start a project,
Don't worry.
you're not alone.
We can do this together.
So what are you working on?
Coming up on the All-State Halftime Report, Irish and A&M in a nail-biter, plus Kalen DeBoer making his debut with the Alabama Crimson Tide and QB standouts. That's all coming up
Peanut
on the
butter and
All-State
jelly.
Halftime Report. Yeah, man.
I haven't
What you
heard
know, you're
peanut
in
butter
South
and
Florida
jelly
now. Come on.
in years.
This is the home of Uncle Luke and Trick Daddy and Slip and Slide and Rick Ross. Pitbull, too. You know, you got to get Pitbull some love.
Okay.
Yeah. Do you know how to peanut butter and jelly?
No.
Okay. Just overthrows it too tall for the intended target, Jamari Taylor. They tried to set up the screen.
And Walker Harris has lost that rhythm. He's lost that rhythm. They got in his face a little bit, started hitting him, confused him on the looks a little bit. They're bringing pressure. Defensive coordinator Ryan Lewis is bringing those linebackers, crowding the line of scrimmage and having the guys get up in their face, making this a more physical game. And North Carolina Central's kind of slowed down offensively.
Well, to your point, Jay, Walker Harris started 7 of 7 in this one, and since then is 1 of 4.
Look at this pressure look.
Yep.
Look at all those guys they have that close to the line of scrimmage trying to create confusion.
And seeing that and understanding that, North Carolina Central spins a timeout. They've got 1 remaining in the half.
All right, here we go. It's time for Gimme 5. And I dug deep for this one. The greatest players in the history of Alabama State football, right? Moss, the offensive lineman, had a great career in the NFL as well. How about Brad Baxter, running back, played for the Jets, was a good one. Reggie Barlow was a coach here, also played for the Jacksonville Jaguars, was a guy. Tavares Jackson, quarterback, one of the all-time greats there. And I'm going with Eddie Robinson Jr., the head coach there. Anytime you're going to talk about the greatest players, you got to mention Houston Markham. Even though he was a coach, he was a legendary coach, I can't do Alabama State football without doing Houston Markham.
Oh, yeah.
That's Jay's Gimme 5. That's a pretty good list.
That is a very good list. Hey, Swac, Defensive Player of the Year, 2 years in a row for Eddie Robinson Jr., but Tips 2 cents, I'm chiming in with a little something. Titus Howard, maybe he can help
First
out
round pick,
along
yeah.
the offensive line currently with the Houston Texans.
That was a good one there with Titus Howard.
Yeah, I like Titus Howard, and Ezra Gray will be my other Alabama State. And Walker Harris took a shot as he let it go to Chauncey Spikes. Incomplete, so big hole there on third down as Drake Johnson was disruptive on that last play. Let's take another look at it.
Yeah, they're trying to get to him. And they're bringing the pressure, but normally this much pressure, somebody should be open if you have that much time. But you can tell they're trying to hit him there. That could have been a blow to the helmet right there. That could have been, but you see how it changed. So Alabama State able to make this game a little physical and slow down North Carolina Central offensively.
Velarde, who had the 56-yard punt that pinned Alabama State the last time. This one, they're caught at the 11-yard line, or rather 12 of Alabama State. Oh yeah, the mighty Marching Hornets stretching, getting ready for their halftime performance along with the NCCU sound machine. Remember, you can see the entire halftime performance on ESPN3.
And what do we say about North Carolina Central? Like, visually, I don't remember their band being this big.
No, they grew. They grew for sure.
They've grown. Winning in that environment down there, give credit to the athletic department, athletic director Skip Perkins. When you win and you win big games on national TV, enrollment tends to go up. Band sizes start to increase. Central taking advantage. Another missed tackle.
Shiftiness there of A.J. Gates Jr. making something out of nothing, a pickup of one. And Alabama State's going to try to potentially move with a more methodical pace here, backed up deep into their own territory, and just one timeout remaining.
I got all of ESPN,
in the half.
Smart move.
ESPN News,
Milk the clock
ESPN
down a little bit. Chances of you going 80 yards to score would be slim, but if you can get a big play, then you speed up. But otherwise, you kind of say, well, you don't want to punt the ball at any time on the clock.
And they keep it on the ground. And Marcus Harris, the second.
Now you call a timeout. If I'm North Carolina Central, I'm calling a timeout now. And they are. And the reason you call the timeout, you say, okay, if we stop on third down, we get the ball back with some time, we can increase our lead. Good use of that. You want to try and make them punt the ball, give your offense a chance.
Well, if you're just tuning in, folks, this is the Cricket Celebration Bowl champions from 2 years ago. Trey Oliver, the head man, alumnus of North Carolina Central, coming off of last year, 9-3, into the FCS playoffs, led the MEAC in points per game, but they are without their MEAC Offensive Player of the Year, and
let me say
Davius
this,
Richard.
We had to give a shout out earlier. Davius Richard, we know about the injury. Get well.
Yeah.
Get well, get healthy. It was a pleasure and joy to cover you. Definitely not forgotten. Helping get your career going.
Well, it's halftime, and let's look at what happened in the Swac this past weekend. Whew. All right. Scores. It was not pretty. 18-22. FAMU survives. See, Jackson State lost 14-30. UAPB lost 0-70. Alcorn 3-41. The game we're watching now, it's 21-14. From last night, FAMU, as I just said, survived 22-18. Alabama A&M, you pinched them, 3-73. Mississippi Valley, while y'all keep laughing, Valley scored 21 points. Bethune-Cookman, 3. South Florida, 48. Grambling, 10. I expected a whole lot more out of Grambling, but oh well. New coach, new system, whatever. The game that I will be highlighting tomorrow, 7:30, Texas Southern versus Prairie View. The Swac does have defense. In the last game, McNeese State out. Wow. Fourth quarter, they ran up a couple of touchdowns. Now, what I'm going to end up doing is, since it's halftime, I'm going to cancel the live. Then I'll start back up at the third quarter. See y'all later.